So here in this problem, we need to determine the angle formed at the origin by the line segment whose endpoints are provided to us. Let's try to understand this problem graphically first. So here we have a Cartesian plane with the x and the y axis. Let's try to plot the point 0, 100 on the axis. So 0, 100 means the x coordinate is 0, whereas the y coordinate has a value 100 along the positive x-axis. Let us suppose that this corresponds to point A with coordinate 0, 100. Then the other point 10, 0, since it has only x value, x coordinate value, there is no y coordinate value, it's going to lie on the x-axis. So let us suppose that this is the point B with the coordinate 10, 0. Now we're going to join the point A and point B. Now the goal will be to find out the angle which is formed at this particular origin by AB. Okay, so we need to find out the angle theta here. Well, the answer is quite evident here. Theta is going to be 90 degrees because that's the angle formed by the x-axis and the y-axis, and we know that the two axes are always orthogonal. So that means the angle theta must be 90 degrees. However, we will be applying here the cosine formula as well as the distance formula to actually check out that the value of angle theta is indeed 90 degrees. Now we are going to consider the triangle OAB. We're going to name the side OB. This is the side opposite to angle A. So we're going to name this side OB as A. Then we're going to consider the side opposite to angle O or the origin, which is AB. We're going to denote it by the letter B in lowercase. And the remaining side OA, we're going to denote it by the letter C in lowercase. Now, what we'll do, we'll use the cosine formula. The cosine formula states that if we take cosine of angle theta, then what we'll do, we'll have to take a ratio, and now in the numerator, we'll have to take the sum of the squares of its adjacent sides. So since we're considering theta, the side adjacent to angle theta are A and C. So if we take the sum of the squares, so we have A squared plus C squared, and from this we are going to subtract the square of the opposite side, so that's B squared. And in the denominator we have 2 times the product of the adjacent side, so 2 times A times C. Now our goal will be to determine the value of A, B and C. To find out the value of A, B and C, what we'll do, we'll take the help of the distance formula. So let's first find out the value of length A. So all we have to do is take the square root. Underneath the square root, what we'll have to do is take the difference of the x coordinate, square it, and then add it to the difference of the y coordinate, and then square this value. Now, what's the origin O? That has the coordinate 0, 0. To find out the length A, what we need is the coordinates of point O and coordinates of point B. So that's how we can find out the difference of the x coordinate. We'll start with the x coordinate of B, so that's 10. And from it, we subtract the x coordinate of A, so that's 0. So we have 10 minus 0, we square it. Then we are going to add it to the difference of the y coordinate. Since our y coordinate is 0 in both cases, so we have 0 squared. So this is going to correspond to a value equals to 10. Then we have the length B. So B will be equals to, so we'll take again, use the distance formula. Now we need the coordinates of point A and B. So we'll take the difference of the x coordinate. So let's start with the x coordinate of B. So that's 10. And from it subtract the x coordinate of A. So that's 0. 10 minus 0 squared. This will be added to the difference of the y coordinate square. So we'll start with the y coordinate of B. So that's 0. And from it we subtract the y coordinate of A. So that's 100. So this is going to correspond to a value 10 times square root of 101. And then coming to the length of C, we can use the distance formula, or we don't have to use the distance formula because it's going to be simply the length 100. The 100 is going to be the length C. Now that we have the value of A, B and C, we can substitute all of this value back in equation number 1, such that equation number 1 is going to give us cosine of theta equals to, we did A squared, so that's going to be 100, plus C squared, so that's 100 squared, so that's going to be 10,000, and from it we are going to subtract 10 times square root of 101, so we have 10100 whole divided by 2 times A, so A value is 10, times the value C, so C is going to be 100, so this gives us the value 0. The cosine of theta is coming up to be 0. That means that the angle theta must be equals to 90 degrees. Hence, we have successfully obtained the angle formed at the origin by the line segment whose endpoints are given as 0, 100 and the other endpoint having coordinate 10, 0. It makes an angle of 90 degrees at the origin.